In this video, we're gonna be checking out 10 celebrities that apparently come from a breaking background. Coming up. So what's up guys, my name is Coach Sambo, and on this YouTube channel right here, you usually find breaking tutorials or funny b-boy content. So if you're new on the channel right here, don't hesitate to subscribe by using the little red button right there so you can stay up to date on all the videos that I will be uploading in the future. Alright, so after breaking 20 years, I'm slowly transitioning into the next phase of my life. You know, I always had the dream of becoming an actor, and I've always been fascinated by actors that actually come from a breaking background. And there's actually more than you think, because I was actually really surprised that I could list 10 celebrities that actually did come from a breaking background. And you know, besides the fact of watching these famous actors actually breaking it down, you know, I reckon that their connection to the hip-hop culture is definitely a game changer in the path that they have took building up their careers. So let's check these guys out and let's see if they got any skills left. So the first one is an actor from 300, but also from X-Men, Micheal Fassbender, a half German, half Irish actor, goes on the Graham Norton show and says this.
No, I mean, I've done the robot probably back in 1987, or, you know, when I was going through the breakdance phase.
I love that you went to a breakdance phase.
Oh, yeah, I love the fact that breakdance made it to Fossa. And there was a breakdance club.
Now, besides the fact that he says there was a breakdance club back in the day, which is basically like a crew or maybe a place they gave classes or something, we do have to realize that he's talking about 1987. You know, mainstream level wasn't probably that high back then. I bet nobody was doing air chairs all the way up to one-hand hops and stuff like that. So you kind of have to lower your expectations when watching this guy dance.
Crank it up, crank it up, crank it up.
Some very, very old school tricks right there, adding the fact that the guy didn't do any top rock whatsoever. But yeah, definitely fun to watch, especially when adding the classic looking back over your shoulder, checking out if you're not gonna hurt any of your friends that you're trying to impress. Classic. But he does finish off kind of badass with that pose, you know, kind of showing his attitude right there that he killed it. So thumbs up to Micheal Fassbender, old school b-boy.
Legend, never to forget.
Next up is someone you probably already know of because his video's been going around on the internet a lot, and it's Vin Diesel. So if you've never seen this, yeah, that's right, that's young Vin Diesel right there breaking it down with the fresh Adidas training suit and the fresh grown hair on his head. That's right, he used to have hair way back before everybody knew him as the badass bald dude from all the Fast and the Furious movies. The dude does have a little bit of style with his breaking and his tutting, but definitely no high level stuff right here for the moment. However, this stuff does look legit, and it basically comes from an old tutorial. So if you have the time, definitely check that out. It's definitely a good laugh. But what I do want to add right here is that Vin Diesel was asked during an interview if he still knew who the partner was in the video. And you know, he made fun of it at first and he said, nah, that was so long ago, I can't remember.
Actually, we were discussing a little breakdancing, man, and I asked you, do you remember the guy you were in that video breakdancing with?
And that's a very good question. Because it's so long ago, how could I remember that guy, right?
But then brings in the twist.
25
30,
years,
yeah.
30, close, something like that.
Yeah.
Dave?
By asking his friend up on stage who was waiting backstage, and gives us this message right here.
When you're a New Yorker, you create bonds that last for a lifetime.
Forever.
So it's not uncommon for you to be rolling with a childhood friend.
So shout out to Vin Diesel. The moves might not be that, you know, incredible, but the message behind this has more value than any move you could possibly imagine. When we're all old and we're not gonna be able to bust out any power moves anymore, at least you still have your values. All right, and moving on, I had to add this in this video. No one other than Alfonso Roberto. You know, and everybody knows him as Cordon on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And back in the 80s, he had this TV ad where he promoted this breakdance kit.
Alphonso Robeiro.
Hi. You know, I wasn't born a dancer. I learned to do it with a lot of help.
Now, I don't see him really doing a lot of crazy moves in the video, besides a little bit of cheap tutting right there. But having Cordon sell us this breakdance kit, and you know that breakdance kit looks legit, man. I'm not gonna lie about that. Kind of puts him in the b-boying breaking background in a way.
In a few minutes, you could be doing backspins that will flip out your friends, or eye-popping moves like the centipede.
definitely really cool to watch. The thing I really asked myself after watching this ad is, does anyone have this kit? Well, if you do, then make sure you keep good care of it, because one day it'll end up in a museum. You might get a few bucks off of that. So make sure it's in a good state.
Plus, you get the right kind of music. Rap attack. Hey, you with the right steady crew.
And then we have Terry motherfucking Crews, the energy bomb. That's right. You've probably seen him in tons of movies or like in funny clips and stuff like that.
I went from football to basketball to track to breakdancing. That's what I did. It was the middle of the breakdance phenomenon, and I practiced like a fool.
The dude's a legend, and everybody knows that like he kind of does the robot. But in this interview, you kind of get a little bit of a feel of his background.
Oh, this was 86, 84. I mean, this is at the height. Like you know,
Electric
Boogaloo was out, you know what I mean?
Street.
Beat Street, it was hot.
King of the Beat, yeah.
Yeah, it was hot.
Really? And did you just like do cardboard down and lay it down and go?
We had cardboard in the basement, man, and I would practice spinning on my head for hours. I mean, no girlfriends. Nobody would even get near us.
Really?
So I'm sure he used to do more stuff than just like the robot. You know, the guy is just lit with like positive energy. Does he get it from the dance? I don't know. But let's just imagine he did, so we can create a placebo effect and become more positive ourselves.
Now, I have the best robot of all time. Even to this day. Can you play something? Hit me.
Alright, moving on is a really good actor that I love to watch, and I was really surprised to figure out that this guy actually came from b-boy. He was a real b-boy. Cuba Gooding Jr. played in tons of film, killing tons of roles in tons of different movies, and Cuba was asked this on the Graham Norton show.
Acting wasn't your big break.
No. I was in the 1984 Olympics behind Lionel Richie as a breakdancer. So I was a breakdancer before I was an actor.
Did you know this, Snoop Dogg? He's
All
a breakdancer.
night long. All night. All night.
That's it. That was it.
And that was you.
Yeah,
busting moves.
Me and 199 other little Negro boys running around. I was like this big on the screen all night long.
So yeah, the dude gets up, takes off his coat, starts popping weirdly in a way to start out with. But then out of nowhere comes this pure b-boy style and attitude. Energy just glowing off the dude. And then just starts busting out these windmills out of nowhere. Which is f***ing awesome, by the way. You know, this really put a smile on my face. Adding the fact that the dude probably doesn't really train his moves anymore. He still got that windmill really clean. And that gives you an idea of how good he was back in the day. Because we're talking about 20, 30 years ago, bro. You know, he gets up with that attitude. And what's funny is he has more attitude than a lot of b-boys today. But he's not even a b-boy anymore.
Where's the fucking logic?
But then, we very briefly forget that the dude covering his shoulders with the jacket, insinuating that he killed it, is no one other than Snoop Dogg, which makes this moment on the Graham Norton show pure hip-hop gold. And it doesn't stop there, because Snoop Dogg actually says the following.
The ultimate move he did was called the windmill with the nutcracker.
Wow. Now, I didn't really see a nutcracker right there. So let's just watch his windmill one more time, because maybe he did do a nutcracker. And so what's happening is Cuba is busting out his windmills, and he's not really performing a nutcracker, but you do see his arms go to that direction, which for most people would not be a nutcracker. But this is the crazy part. Snoop Dogg actually picked up that small detail of his hands almost getting into the nutcracker, and then just bringing out that detail for everybody to listen to. Snoop Dogg actually knew he was trying to do a nutcracker without him doing a nutcracker. Yo, Snoop's on that next level, bro. And then moving on through the research, I came across this clip where Cuba Gooding Jr. and John Burton are just messing around and talking about dance on a show with James Cordon. And you know, they start out doing this little dance battle right here. Cuba Gooding Jr. hitting it off, you know, with that mad flavor and style. But then James Corden starts busting out moves and you're like, oh, all right. And then he does this really short set. Kind of kills it if you ask me. But not because of the snake or the worm or the caterpillar or whatever it's called. It's because of those top rocks. James Corden was doing legit top rock basics right there. And I don't know who he learned it from, but that is officially legit right there. Like, no joke, man. Flavor, bro. So if you would ever battle the dude, do not underestimate James Corden.
He wormed on you, son.
Now, come on, listen.
And then I also ran into this clip. Nick Offerman, known from a lot of parts in comedies and TV shows.
You used to be quite the break dancer.
Oh, sure. Well, you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
What else do you think I do? I had a team with my cousin. We were a two-man team. He was much more acrobatic. His name was Flip Flop, and my name was TikTok.
You know, nothing too really fancy right there. At least he does dance a little bit, kind of. But I just wanted to add this right here for you guys because I do think it's partially true in a way. But then again, we're talking about 20, 30 years ago, so you can't expect that much, right? Especially if you don't train anymore. Because I'm telling you, man, those moves and combos leave fast if you don't practice. You know, and this guy is the perfect example. All right, then next up, the guy that surprised me the most once I heard about this is the guy playing the Joker in the recent Joker movie, Joaquin Phoenix, also seen in The Gladiator.
I mean, probably my forte was breakdancing.
Breakdancing, for real.
Very, very serious actor, takes his job very, very seriously.
Are we talking to like popping and locking or spinning? What kind of stuff? Everything.
Yeah.
Would you do it out on the street for people to see?
Sometimes, but it was more personal.
It was?
Yeah, I like to keep it for myself. It's like a personal expression. I didn't need kind of adoration. I didn't need people to validate me.
But it's not the only thing he takes seriously. Because look at the way he reacts to Jimmy's question in this interview.
Expressed it.
Just you and a piece of cardboard in your room.
I'm making fun of it, but it was pretty serious for me.
I know.
You know what? I actually feel Joaquin right here. Because Jimmy kind of approaches the b-boying and dance aspect of the conversation as a lot of people do. You know, by kind of stereotyping it and, you know, the yo kind of mentality. And this is where Joaquin really surprised me, and I think a lot of people in the audience, giving us a feel of how closely connected we are to what we love. You know, dancing, right? It's not something we do to show off, even though sometimes we do show off. But I did really try my best to look for some dancing footage of Joaquin, but I couldn't find anything. So let's just imagine how we would break now that we know that he's so deep. I think he's probably gonna be a dude with a lot of threads and, you know, a very artistic approach. But somehow I don't think his energy level is gonna be that high. So this kind of gives you a mental idea of how he would break. But it would be really dope if we got to see some footage of him in the future so we could check out some of his locking and popping skills. Alright, number 9 right here is Sofia Boutella. And Sofia's starring in a lot of big movies these days. A really badass role she played was one of the bad guys besides Samuel L. Jackson in this movie called Kingsman. If you haven't seen the movie, you definitely have to see the movie.
It's completely insane.
So she kind of started off as a gymnast, then she made it as a B-girl. Then as a B-girl, she kind of broke through by doing like ads for Nike. Then I remember her playing a part in a French dance movie with B-boy Benji that was called Le Défi, which means the battle in French. And I was 17 when watching this, man. I was in love with her, man. Then boom, 10 years after that, I trained my ass off and I got to work with her in a movie called Street Dance 3D 2. We'd had a blast, we had a great time, and now she's moved on to do some really amazing work, even starring in one of the latest Star Trek movies. And I even have to add right here that she does not use a stunt woman to cover all of her stunts. She actually just trains really hard for the parts and does everything herself, just like Jackie Chan. Amazing talent, but for me, she'll always be the B-girl I used to watch when I was a kid. Alright, then last up, we have Common, the hip-hop music artist. That's right, he was a B-boy.
Breakdancing was something I used to do.
You know how to break dance?
Yeah.
Can you show us?
Uh-oh. This where it gets ugly.
Here it goes.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Now what I love about the dude is how laid back he is, man. And besides the fact that the host was irritating.
Battle me, battle me, battle me.
Yet he got to take his time and just chill out. Even the way he took away the tape from the floor was really subtle and chill. Like he was almost always telling himself,
yeah, man, this is all good.
and just enjoying the moment, which is really, really dope. But then out of the blue, he just busts out power moves, well, specifically windmills. And again, if you don't practice and you can still bust out windmills after 10, 20 years, then that means that you used to be on point. So yeah, Common just busting out mad style, finishing off right here. Really cool to watch. So if I had to choose 2 out of the 10 we just watched right now and like be able to select the final, I think the final would be between Cuba Gooding Jr. and Common. Would be really dope to watch those guys battle, right? But finally, I think Cuba Gooding Jr. taking the win just because he's so lit, just killing it with that style and that energy. I just love the dude, man. Alright, so because you've been watching this video up to now, I will reward you with a little extra video right here, which is a funny video with Brad Pitt and Jimmy Fallon. Basically communicating using breakdance. Well, obviously they're not doing the breakdance themselves, and I have actually no idea who the b-boys are they used for this video. And if you know who they are, just leave their names in the comments, just so people know, right? And I really liked this video. It was kind of funny, really kind of enjoyed it. So that's why I'm just leaving the link below in the description so you can watch the whole video and enjoy it yourself. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video right here. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button right there. And then just don't forget to smash the like button so you can help me rank my channel up all the way up to #1. This is your man, Coach Sambo, your online b-boy coach. And never forget, at the end of the day, when you think about it, it's just all about that b-boy shit.